Hey, party people, what's going on? How are we
How's,
all?
how's, how's it gone?
Yes,
Hey Bill, how you doing?
I'm good. Who's got fucking music on? How is everybody?
Good. I've got a win.
Come on in.
Started a new offer. Um, had six qualified calls, closed four. Which is pretty cool. Obviously, there's still room for improvement.
Mhm.
Um, should have stayed in like the wallet a bit longer. Like some of them with because they don't have like financing.
Yeah,
Well they do, but for like 3 months. But then after that they don't. So I should have like stayed a bit longer in there, got more upfront with some of them. But overall, still pretty happy.
very good. Good stuff. Right. Tell me guys, how did your September go? Let me know. Let me know. Come off mute, let me know.
Pretty good. For me, it was a personal record month, but I'm pissed off because I didn't hit my goal. So good and bad.
Good and bad. Very good.
I had a rough start to the month, the first couple of weeks, and then I had a call a princess. I was trying to change everything about my process instead of just focusing on the most important thing. So the last week of the month, I was sitting at like a 15% conversion, like 20K cash collected, and then I finished off 23% conversion and like 100K cash collected in the last week. Not where I want to be, but I mean, a turnaround, of course.
Yeah, very good. This is a great point. People jump in here all the time. They just change everything. It's just
It's
like,
crazy.
what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
It's like you're in doing interior design and rebuilding the house at the exact same time. Don't work
My
like that.
prospects were running away from me like I had shit on my face. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. This is why you go to objections and then you build out from objections. It could take some of you 3 months to learn and think about it on a current objection. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn it once, you don't have to keep relearning it. It's just the same thing. You gotta just make it better all the time. Right, Zach, tell me, buddy, how did your month end up?
Yeah, good man. So last month it's been an improvement. So the month prior was 3K and this month was 5.8K. So just slowly climbing.
Dublin. Yeah, if you keep Dublin, you ain't gonna be doing too bad, are you?
No, man. I'll be
No?
in the clear.
Yeah. Angelo?
Last month I started off the month really good, and then we had some management changes on the offer that I'm on, and the bookings slowed down tremendously. So I am onboarding onto another offer at the moment. So I have a few things going on. Super excited for it, and the sales manager actually has gone through Elite, I'm pretty sure.
Who's the
So
salesman?
Parker,
Parker Green. Green. Yeah.
yep,
He has. Is that with that fucking little rat cunt Rasmus, is it?
correct.
Yeah, there's some good English for you today.
So I'm watching his call recordings, and it's yeah, it's the box. Like the way he's handling the way Parker's handling the objections, he's just so smooth. And so I'm excited to just develop the skills and get better. Got a
Yeah.
lot of work to do.
There's not a lot of offers, and this is my own ego talking, but there's not a lot of offers out there that haven't had injection box influence on them. So that's awesome for us, but that's awesome for you guys because you know what you are working on works in every offer, which is the key. That's the goal. Okay, cool. Before we get going and train, I want you to private message me because I want to know who here is on their ass, financially struggling, on their ass, literally in a position. Just send me a DM. You don't have to put up your hand or you don't have to tell the world if you don't want to. That's perfectly fine. But who here is on their ass? Just shoot me a DM. Now, you might not have to be on your ass, but like, money is on the forefront of your mind. You're constantly thinking about it. You're constantly, stressing, worrying, when's the next dollar coming in, this, that, the other stuff. Yeah, I don't mean like that. You're worried about how you're going to feed yourself today, but like, you know, if it's at the forefront of your mind, let me know. Send me a DM. Now, there's only a few of you who have to send in DMs. That means that everybody else is balling. There's only one baller here, and that's Julie. So, where's everyone else? There's only one baller in this room, and that's Julie. So, everyone else flush. If you're flush, you shouldn't be in family anyway. It's just FYI. So, if you're flush, you shouldn't be here. You should be up with the elite guys. Straight up. So, let me know. Rub your hands, let me know. Just send me a DM. I know there's popping here now. Everyone is messaging, which is awesome. The reason why I want you guys to know this is because that's where everybody sets up and that's where everybody stands. One thing I would definitely tell you guys is if you're on your ass or you're in a position where you're getting close to it, what I would say to you is you got to figure out a way outside of sales to make money. Okay. So I'll give you a bit of an example and I'll tell you a bit of a story about mine. So I set up a fitness business when I was a kid, 22, 23, 24. It went really, really well. And I bought my dream Jeep, which was a Range Rover. And I had it at 22 years of age, 23 years of age, I think, bought it and paid for it. And I was building an online business and I wasn't working where I needed to work. And all of the money that I was making in the PT world was recycling into ads, into systems, into coaching for the young. And what was happening, guys, is this was lowering, lowering, and lowering, and lowering. I came to a point where I needed to sell my Jeep. I needed to sell my prized asset. I needed to figure that out. But without that lesson and without being in a position where you have to sell things and figure shit out, I wouldn't be here today. Why? Because I wouldn't have learned the hard yards. I wouldn't have learned that it just doesn't always work out the way that you want it to work out. I was putting in 100-hour weeks and it just wasn't working. It just it just wasn't clicking. It just wasn't getting me where I wanted to go. Okay, because you guys, some of you guys, have the opinion and the mindset of like, if I put $1 in, instantly it's an ATM. It's going to kick me back $5 tomorrow. That's not how your education works. It's not how anything works because there's so many variables. There's so many variables to your education because it's your skill set, it's your effort, it's your determination, it's your resilience. Also, it's the offers. Also, it's the marketing. Also, it's the fulfillment. Also, it's the commission structures. There's many different facets that ultimately can help you get to where you want to go. So what I would say to you guys is if you're in a position where you're in sales, but you needed to make sales while also trying to learn sales, you're going to find it very, very difficult. Okay, because you're trying to drive forward and backwards at the exact same time. It does not work. And I say this with kindness, and I say this because I see a lot of myself and a lot of you where you're just forcing and forcing and forcing and forcing and forcing. Why? Because you want to be in a better place. You want to, get to a place that isn't dictated by stress. There's a lot to be said for having enough money to pay for all your bills. And that's where you all want to get to. You all want to get to a place where, you don't have to worry and you don't have to look over your shoulder and you have enough and you get to do what you want. And that's absolutely brilliant. And that's where we're going to take you. But what I will say to you today, for some of you, is you got to make it work in the sense of, if let's say you're on 10 sales calls a day and you're making one sales, that 10 hours made you $200. So you didn't make $200 an hour. That's what I'm saying to you. It took you 10 hours to make that $200. So now what you need to do is you need to go away and you need to DoorDash. You need to you go drive Ubers. You need to go wait tables. You need to go do something where you don't have to actually have a skill set. You just have to use your body to be able to do that. I've been in that position many, many times where you have to pick up extra work, where you have to sell things that you don't want to sell, where you have to make shit work. And the reason why I say this to you guys is because there's one thing that you never lose unless you lose your brain, and that's your skill set. Everything else you can sell and buy back. Everything else that you can get rid of, you can get back. Everything else that you can move off, that's putting a hole in your pocket, you can get back. When you're trying to get ahead, guys, I'm going to get into some training here now, but when you're trying to get ahead, there's only three things that you fundamentally need. You need to look at your bank account. And I don't know, I'm not dictating to you guys, but I see an awful lot of you guys where I was at 22 years of age compared to where I am now at 32. Okay, and I wish someone sat down with me and gave me these lessons. Okay, so if you look at your outgoings on a monthly basis, okay, there's some things that some of you can't get rid of. Okay, so your outgoings are really, really important. Everything else you're going to get rid of. Okay, so all the fancy stuff that you have, you're getting rid of. All the unnecessary stuff, you're getting rid of. So your rent. Okay, some of you have really, really nice houses. Some of you have really, really high rent. Okay, there's nothing like, let's say, for argument's sake, your rent is 3K a month, and you live on your own, and you live in this beautiful place. There's nothing wrong with fucking going, well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to, you know, share accommodation with somebody. That's going to cost me 1K a month. Now I'll just say 2K there. Okay? And let's say you went back for 3 months, or you went back for 6 months. Now what I've just done is I've created 6 to 12K of room to be able to fucking live and to be able to reinvest in yourself. That's the first thing. The second thing you're not going to get rid of is your food. Okay, very simple. How many of you eat out multiple times a week? Honestly, how many of you eat out multiple times a week? Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we all do. It's like no one's going to come and beat you up. Yeah, you're being reminded 3 times a day. Yeah, but like some of us are probably spending $200 a week on food, eating out, as well as their groceries on top of it. Okay, how many of you get a coffee multiple times a day? No, I do. I go to the. I will easily have 3 coffees out a day now. Yeah, I get it. We all do. Okay, so food, rent is something that you can't get rid of. Transport is something that you're not going to get rid of. Okay, who's spending $1,000 on a car at the moment, or above $500 on a really nice car? Any of you? You know, who here is traveling away, you know, on holidays and things like this? We all are. We all are. Yes. What I'm trying to get to, guys, is I want you to start looking at your outgoings. And I want you to start, you know, because one thing that we can't do, there's only 2 ways you're going to get ahead. You're going to have to reduce, or you're going to have to make more. If you're trying to make more, what I also want you to do is reduce. So you have more room in the middle to be able to invest in yourself. Okay? And there's nothing humbling about that. It's life. That's what it's called. It's life, and it's about moving and making decisions that are ultimately going to get you ahead in 4, 5, 10 years, whatever it may be. Even 4 or 6 months, it doesn't matter. Yes? So there's nothing wrong, guys, with taking a season, hunking down, reducing everything to the bare bones, and then having that as a buffer to then go and reposition and then replay the game. Okay? I've been in that position multiple of times. Yeah, I've had to sell things. I've had to do shit that I didn't want to do. I've had to go and do, you know, jobs that I didn't want to do. Yeah, that's part and parcel of building. That's part and parcel of humbling enough to be able to go and build and grow. All right. So some of you are just forcing and forcing and forcing and trying and trying and trying and trying, and I absolutely respect and honor that. What I will say to you though, guys, is you can't learn how to swim while you're also drowning from swimming. Yeah, you're not going to learn how to swim, guys, if you can't touch the side or if you can't touch the floor. Okay, so it's very, very hard to learn how to do sales and make a ton of money out of sales at the fucking exact time, because it's endless pressure, it's endless anxiety and stress and worry and looking and building and everything else on top of it. All right. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to look at your outgoings every month, and I want you to say to yourself, what is essential? What do I actually need to do? What do I actually need to have to keep this wheel spinning, to be able to feed myself, house myself, clothe myself, and be able to keep investing in myself and education to be able to get better? Because there's only 2 ways you're going to get out of the hole. Number 1, you're going to outskill yourself, and number 2, you're going to reduce what you're pushing out. That is the only two ways you get out of the position that you're in. You make more or you spend less. That's it. That's literally the only two ways you do it. You make more or you spend less. Yeah? That's what we're doing. All right. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Connor, come up from you, buddy.
Yep.
Connor and Amar, you awake, my friend?
Yes, sir. I am here. Can you hear me?
Right.
Oh,
Connor,
my
concern.
internet's a little choppy.
All right, well, fuck you then. Sorry. Connor, concern. Angelo, we've got to come back to you on that. Angelo, prospect, let's go.
Cool.
Connor, sell whatever you're selling.
Okay, so that's everything I have really to go over with you, Angelo. Next step from here is pretty simple. We get you set up, we get you rocking and rolling to your first 10K month. Happy enough?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. So in terms of how you want to do that, do you want to use a debit or credit card?
Yeah, I probably just have to sort some stuff out. You know, if you can give me a day or two, I can get back to you and let you know what would be best.
Sure, no stress. And before we do that, all I care about is how you feel. So do you feel confident that what we went over can actually get you to those 10K months moving forward? Well, how do you feel?
I feel pretty confident in it.
Okay. It might be a bit of uncertainty. So can I ask, with everything that we've gone over today and all the results that you've seen to this point, if you showed up, you met us in the middle and you put in all the work that you needed to do, like the hundreds of people, is there any reason you wouldn't be successful?
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. As long as I put in the work and yeah, as long as everything that you shared with me is accurate, then I definitely believe that it'll
Okay.
work.
Can I ask, is there any reason why you would believe that this isn't accurate? Obviously, you don't know what you don't know, right? Let's address the elephant in the room, but are you going to put in the work and show up? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna put in the work and show up.
So do you truly believe that we can help you and that this works for you? Yes or no?
Yeah, I do.
You sure?
I think so. I just there's so much stuff that you see online nowadays, and like I've definitely, vetted this out, but at the same time, like I'll never know unless I actually do it. I've seen a lot of different things and I've looked into a lot of different things and not
Yeah,
all of them panned out. So that's why
of
there's a little
course.
bit of
So can I ask, is this more of a case of you just feeling a little bit of, a bit of uncertainty to take that step forward rather than a case of you actually need to think about it? Is it just you're a bit unsure on where to go, right?
honestly, yeah.
Pause.
Okay.
What's the golden rule, guys? What's
Well,
the funnel?
find
Money
out.
first.
Hold on. Don't start jumping over each other now, guys. Right? Top of the funnel, smoke screen. What's the golden rule, Connor?
Tie down,
Yeah, great. What's the second golden rule then?
then you'll ask them, okay, so with you going and have a think about this, like what's actually coming up for you?
Yeah. What's the second golden rule? So you're at the smoke screens in order to go down.
Yeah. Then you go to money. That's where I wanted to go. I wanted to get uncertainty first. And then I'll say, is it a case of like you have the full investment and it's just you're a bit uncertain, or is it a case you have some of the investment? We need to figure out logistics, or like you don't have any. And then in that case, you need to sell a kidney. That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah, right. Let's make a universal rule here now, guys. Very simple for all of you. Okay. Part and three of you, universal rule. Before you get the fear, guess what you're going to do?
Handle money.
Handle the money. Straight up. Everyone does it the exact same way. The reason why I want you all to do it the exact same way, why? Someone tell me. Why would I want everybody to do it the exact same way?
Because you could
Because it
spend like
works.
10, 15 minutes handling fear, and then you find out that they've got a cucumber in the bank account. So it's not what you can do.
Yeah, but also as a coaching component, if everybody does it the exact same way, then everyone is learning the exact same way. It's the simplest form. Because if Connor's going to do it his way, Angelo's going to do it his way, Chris, Jacob's going to do it their way, then every day I come in here and then some of you are going to listen to how Jakob is doing it and go back, oh, I like the way that he did it. And then, oh, I like the way he did it. And then you're just mashing and mixing and it just doesn't work. So you're doing it all the one way, the consistent way, over and over and over again. And it's not until you hit a lead that you're going to make any change. And even when you hit a lead, you're not going to make any change either. Why? Because it's the fucking same thing. It works everywhere you go. Make sense? Connor, go for it.
So in that situation, would you literally just go straight to the money tie down, like full investment, partial, or none?
Yeah, like, I know you mentioned like you do want to wait and think about this. Like, can I ask like before you even do that? Is it a case that like you have the full investment and you just need a little bit more certainty potentially around some of this stuff, or is it a case that you have some of the investment and logically we need to make this work, or even when you go away and think about this, like we need to sell a kidney here, what the hell is going on? No, I have the investment. I just need to. There we go.
Okay, so you go straight into it. Cool.
There's a step formula, guys. Okay, I don't want you to go up and down because whatever way you guys want to do it, we're not doing that. That's not how we work this. We're doing it the same way all the time. Yeah. The reason why we're doing it that way, guys, is because you all know, and you will all hear it if people are off track, and you know exactly what is missing to get them back on. Okay. So the formula. Let me turn this fucking thing on. The formula is very simple because it's the same thing on every offer. So you have your smokes up here. After that, you're typically going to have your partner. After that, you're going to hit your money, you're going to hit your logistics, and then you're going to hit your fee. That's it. It's the same playbook every offer. Don't change it. Just run the exact same play over and over and over again until it's like riding a bike. Or as Jesse would say, riding a. There you go. Right, Victoria. Yeah, go for it, sister.
Hello,
Go for it.
everyone. So I have one question because I'm still don't do any sales. So it's just one question popped into my head. What if when you're going on the money objection and the person is saying that he doesn't have any money? So you're just wishing him a good day and you're ending the call, or you're still trying to go on the logistics and figure out maybe he can borrow it or do something?
Yeah, because then we've funneled it into money logistics. Is it like, here's the thing about money, guys. Everyone has it, or everyone have access to it. Everyone can figure out how to put something down to move something in some capacity if the need, want, and desire is there. Okay, and that's universal. That is across the board. All right, everyone can figure something out. Mark, let's go. Okay, so, Benjamin Oakley, Sarah Mary. Let's get a camera on, guys, if we can. If not, you're gonna have to go bye-byes. Forrest Neil, you can prospect.
Cool.
Right, Mark, let's go, buddy. What are you selling?
I'm not currently on any office ball, so
Right, make it up. Let's go.
all right. For us, so what we've just covered there. That's about it. That covers pretty much everything that we do here. The next thing is to get you on board it and get you on your way to hit those goals. How would you like to proceed with that? Is debit or credit card work for you?
Well, when I do it, I'm going to do debit. I think I just need to have some time to sit with it. And then can we like circle back like Monday next week and chat about this a little bit more, man?
Yeah, that's fair enough. You can sit on it. Of course. Before you do, just go and sit on it. Do you mind me asking? I suppose the most important thing is here that what we covered, what we went over, that actually works for you, that you feel that can actually get you to your goals.
Yeah. I mean, I feel very optimistic about it.
Very optimistic or certain?
Well, I've not done it, so I feel as good maybe as I probably can right now.
Yeah, I suppose we don't know. We don't know until we try anything. I suppose what we went over there, what parts of it do you feel that actually can work for you?
Well, the strategy you lay out is something new that I haven't tried before, and the way you explained it makes it seem like it will work. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Will work. Still sounds like you're a little bit on the fence there as to whether it can work for you or not.
Maybe. But overall, I mean, I've enjoyed the conversation, and I mean, it seems like this could be something that, in the near future could be really good for me. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, in the near future. Okay. Well, with what we went over, are there any specific parts of it that you feel that can't work for you?
No, nothing stood out. No red flags.
No red flags. Okay, okay. Fair enough. So like when you do go and sit on it for a day or two, like is there anything particular coming up for you that makes you want to go and do so?
Well, this is just how I make decisions. I kind of anytime I have a big decision, I like to take, probably about a month or so before I really dive into it. So,
No, I understand that. Understand that. But you've been saying like you've been trying to get to this goal for a couple of years now, and like sitting on decisions for a couple of months at a time, like hasn't really helped you out so far, has it? Is that fair to say?
not to achieve the goals that I'm going for. No.
Okay. Um, sorry, I'm
Good
gone
stuff.
there, Bill.
Yeah, good. Right. Okay. So we hit the smoke. He dicks you around and he pushes you out the other side. That's what's happening here now. So you
Yeah.
got to get beyond that. You got to move through that. What are we going to say to get on that? Aaron, come off mute, buddy. What are you saying to get past that?
Smoke. I don't really know.
Okay. Who does that? Put your hand. Come on in, Caesar. You're not in the car today. There you go.
What if you were handed $1 million in the street? Would you take it?
No. Rubbish. Victor, go for it. Guys, if you're
Yeah.
going to say it, if you're going to put up your hand and say what you think it is, please do. No. Yeah. Victor, go for it. What are we going to say, buddy? How do we get past the smoke screen? How do you get past the second leg?
Yeah, look, with all due respect, you're not here to have an enjoyable conversation, right? You're here to actually find a way of getting results.
No. Chris Gallen, go for it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Chris, what are we saying? Don't know. Lance, what are you saying? If you don't know,
I'd
you
say,
don't know. Just say you don't know.
can I ask, in your opinion, before you or when you do go and think about it, what for you is coming up that makes you want to do so? Just to see if I can help.
It's a fucking simple one. It's the simplest one, guys. Yeah, it's the simplest one. Yeah, this is like how quick it's gonna be. Like, cause you just sound silly. You just sound like you're just doing the bouncing around. So when you do go away and think about this for a month or two, like what are you actually going to think about? Just to see if I can actually help with more information. Like what's coming up for you, maybe what has come up in the past that's making you think for months on end. What are you actually thinking about? And then you can go another layer down and you can say, because like thinking about it is not going to actually give you the courage and the education to keep going, right? So what are you actually going away with that is allowing you to feel like you need a month at a time? Sound the same to you, Victor? Makes sense. Like you
Yep.
gotta ask, like, what is it that you're thinking about? You gotta go underneath it. Yes. Don't overcomplicate it, guys. Caesar, where you going? Don't overcomplicate it. Yeah, because you're asking those questions. You gotta funnel down. You gotta move it in. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like because you're asking, you're asking about the behaviors rather than about what he's thinking about, what's coming up when he does go away. You're challenging the behaviors, but you're not. It's too wide to challenge people's behaviors up there. It's too raw.
But if he says, it's just how I take the time and don't know what I'll think about.
Cool. So like you're going away and thinking about something that you don't know what you're going to think about. How do you think that's going to help you make the decision?
Yeah, just take the time to see if anything will come up, you know, like some
Well,
ideas or
like just bounce something off me. What do you think is going to come up? Like what would come up on how you would make decisions like this? What do you think? Because thinking about it is not going to give you the thinking about it to have another thinking about conversation, correct?
yeah, well, I don't know now. I can't say now, but maybe in a week I realize something isn't necessarily right with what you said.
Yeah, maybe in a month's time it might not be it either, right? So let's just speed it up
Yeah.
for a second. Let's just play the game for a second if you want to. Like what's actually coming up that makes you feel that you can't make this decision right now?
Yeah, just feel
What's fundamentally the block? And I know you mentioned that you need to go away and think about things for a month or 2 months or even 2 years. But like what is stopping you right now from making the decision? What's that block?
yeah, just feel more comfortable knowing I've taken some time
Sure.
before actually jumping on a decision.
Sure. What is it that you need to take time to make the decision on? What's coming off you that makes you feel that you need to take more time? Look at see what Caesar's doing. He's
Yeah.
trying to. He's literally trying not to tell me what it is because he's like trying
Yeah.
to make something up. You can see it in his face.
I am.
So you got it like, and that's what you were doing. It's like, no, I'm going to stay funneling you down. You're trying to bounce me around. That's what the questions that's what you're giving. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
you were asking those questions, and you're just going to bounce up around on the surface, on the surface, on the surface. You've got to keep at the funnel. You're going to keep moving it down. Yes.
Okay.
Right, well,
Yeah.
you see just there what you're doing with Cesar there.
Yeah.
If it keeps looping back to it, was your next one there? Would you have spelled out for him? Like, is it fear? Is it money? Come on, you know, do you let them bounce about 2-3 times? How many times?
Probably once.
Once.
And then it's like, okay, cool. Like you do need time to go away and thinking about it, to have more time to think about it. I get that. Is it a case when you go away and thinking about it, to have more thinking about it? Is it like a financial decision that you need to make? Is it like, logically you need to figure out how to make this work? Is it a little bit of uncertainty in terms of some stuff? Like what actually is coming up? Because you're going away and thinking about it, having more time to think about it isn't actually going to really push you in the right decision, right?
Yeah.
So what's actually coming up?
Okay.
But someone and then like Caesar, like it's just being silly bollocks and be like, well, I just need space to have time to think about, to think about.
Yeah.
Like, makes sense. You know what I mean?
Can I ask a quick question around that, Bill?
Mhm.
It's I've noticed you've done it on the training. You did it there with Caesar right before he was about to spit out some bullshit. You kind of jumped over and like redirected it before he could spit that bullshit, and then that next answer he gave you was actually like a legit answer. I
Yeah.
guess when do you kind of know when to do that? Obviously, with reps and time that will come, but when do you know when to jump over someone and say, shut the fuck up for a second? Let's readjust it and give me the correct answer from there.
Because I can read body language and I can read the pace, I can read the cadence, I can read the speed of how he's responding, I can read when he's looking up into the air to try and figure out how to make something up. I can read all that. So it's not just what I'm hearing, it's what I'm not hearing, but it's also what I'm seeing, but also what I'm not seeing. You know what I mean? I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of listening to objections.
Okay.
You know, and there's like no substitute for the hard work. There's no substitute for the labor, unfortunately. Yeah, it's
just reps.
It's reps, but it's also experience. You know what I mean?
Because I notice, like, if you don't do that, they just keep circling around. I think that's what we've seen with Connor, but because you just jumped over it, it just kind of readjusted it to get to that end.
It's hard every which way of the person is going to keep bouncing into that smoke screen space. Heard it a million times, so I know what's coming up. I know what's coming up, and like I'm bounding 3 while that person's doing 1. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Okay. Rowan, you got a question, kid?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just gonna throw myself in the ring or ask if I DM'd you something, if we could touch on that, whatever. Either one.
Frankie, go for it.
What's that, sorry?
Roll
Yeah,
click.
wait.
Let's go, kid.
Cool. So, Frankie, that's everything we have for you here. To actually just get set up and started working with our coach to help you get to X, Y, and Z trading results that you're looking to do. The lifetime enrollment fee would just be 10K.
10K.
Absolutely.
Shit. Do we have to do that right now?
I mean, we don't have to do anything right now. Typically, what we would do next steps here is I would get the enrollment fee, and we're going to get you onboarded with the coach so we can get your game plan started. How did you want to make that payment? Did you want to use like Visa, debit?
I mean, 10K is a lot, man. Like, is it cool if I just get like a day or so just to think about it?
Of course, it's cool. Can I ask, money aside, the most important question really here is, in your own opinion, Frankie, do you feel what we've presented to you here today can actually help you get to X, Y, and Z from where you're at?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, why do you think so? I'm hearing a little bit of uncertainty there.
I just think the accountability will be the biggest thing for me. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
Is that the only thing?
Not the only thing, but, you asked what the biggest thing was, so I'd say so.
Well, yeah, having that accountability alongside everything else. Okay, cool. Well, I guess before you do go away and, take a day or two to think about it, what is it specifically that's, coming up for you that makes you want to put some space in between this, just to see if I can even help?
I mean, obviously it is a 10K, right? I thought it'd be a little bit less. I saw something about 5K to 10K, something like that. So I was just, it's really just the money maybe come to terms with that a little bit.
I got you, man. Can I ask you, Frankie, if that's the only thing is the money, like if you had the 10K in your hand right now, would you be moving forward to your enrollment call?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay. So, I mean, is it a case, Frankie, that maybe just have some of the investment, not all of the investment, and we need to see if there's a way we can help you? Or is there anything that's coming up for you maybe as a red flag that's stopping you from having the certainty you need to move forward?
No, I've got the money, obviously just taking the time to
Right, pause.
really make
Pause. See how Rowan just kind of made that up again? See how he kind of like did logistics, then he went to, none of it, then he went to a full amount and stuff like that. I'm going to say this once more. I'm going to say it once more. Do not make up your shit as you go along. There's the same playbook all the time. Money is.
What did I miss?
Well, I'm going to fucking tell you if you just shut up. Yeah? You mixed it up. You went to none of it, and then you went to logistics, and then you went to fucking full. So the same playbook all the time. Is it a case that you have the full amount and you just need a little bit more certainty? Is it a case that you have some of the investment and we need to logically make this work? Or is it a case that you have none of the investment and we need to learn how to go sell a kidney or what's coming up there? It's the same playbook. Just run the same play all the time. Stop making shit up, guys. Stop mixing and matching it. Okay? What I would say to you is how you pitched is not how we pitch either. We just drop the 10K at the last word. That's not how you do it as well. Okay? So you pitch
Yeah, I
it.
know you guys want to do front end like after discovery. I can't do that on my offers.
Right. Well, there's a better way to pitch than just say, yes, 10K. So in order, write this down. So in order to kind of get you to that outcome that you're looking for, which is 20,000 a month, how we typically work that is an investment in time is around 3 months. Now the full investment in terms of the payment structures is 10K. Now there's a couple of ways that we can make that work in order to get you to your goal, which is 20,000 over the next couple of months. Enough. That's how you do it. Why? Because you need to give them the outcome, which is the North Star. And then you need to tell them the investment of time and also the investment of money, but you also need to put a buffer in there. And there's ways that we can make that work for you if we need to figure it out logistically. That is what you do because you just said 10K.
Yeah.
Now,
Can I ask?
if they just have 7 and you told them that they needed to do 10, you're going to scare the 7 away. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So you got to like give a buffer to be able to allow them know that there's going to be space if they need to ask that question. You know what I'm saying?
I
That
do
makes
know what you're saying. Yeah, my curiosity is where I faltered in the funnel. I thought that he had said, no, I have no uncertainty about the program. It's the 10K. It's too much. I thought it was less. So I went to, you have 10K. He
Yeah,
said,
but-
yes. So then I said, well, do we need to find a way to break that up so it could be more manageable? I don't understand where I missed the funnel.
Yeah, because you firstly you scared him, what you did, because you just dropped the 10K. That's the first thing you did. And that put him into fight or flight. And now he's trying to run away from you, and now he's trying to get off the call. That's the first thing you're going to do. And that's why you're going to have people when you just drop a 10K in their head, they're going to run away. That's what you were saying to me earlier on, where people are just running away from you. That's why, because you're scaring them. Okay, you have to figure out a way. They're just giving it to you. How you actually say the 10K, but you make it in a way where they have structures. Who here has ever bought a house? Who's here has ever bought a house? Put up your hand. Right, Mark, if I said to you, you went into the real estate office and, you know, back at home, the estate agent, and I said, it's 300,000.
What's the deposit?
There's like, no, it's just 300,000. You're going to be like,
I might.
you understand what I'm saying to you, Ron?
Yeah, I do.
You
My
gotta-
offer has me do like a price drop where like the coach typically would charge 50 to 100K, but because we've done it, blah, 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 it's only 10K to get started with him. And that's where I do the price.
No, but I don't want you to do that because you're scaring people
Yeah.
away. And this is exactly
Okay.
what you saw. If you're doing this here in role play, it's going to happen out in there in the real world. And that's what's coming out for you. That's why they're right.
Okay, so I need to tie down then the price.
So what you need to do is so in order to get you to 20,000 or whatever they say, what we do with that is it's typically over a 3-month period. Okay. Now the investment is 10K, but there's ways that we can make this work in order to get you in a position where we get you to your 20K.
I get that. That makes sense. Where I struggle with that is that my offers are FTC compliant, so I can't do that. I can't say in order to get you to X, Y, and Z dollar amount.
So what are you pitching them then? What are you going to give them for 10K?
Lifetime membership to a trading coach, man. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but
In
yeah.
order to give you the outcome that you're wanting here today, in order to get you to that position, how we work that. So just take out the 20K and just say, in order to get you to your goal that you mentioned to me a couple of moments ago, right? So in order to get you to the goal that we just went over a couple of minutes ago, which is really important for you and your family moving forward, right? Buy-in. We do it over a 3-month period. Okay, now in order to get you started here today, the full investment is 10K. Okay, but there is a couple of ways that we can make that work in order to get you in a position where you and your family get to the outcome that you're seeking and wanting. Right with that? Does that make sense? Cool. Now, in order to do that, how do you want to go about it? I can go through the finances and structures if you need to.
Put it in their court, right? Like, because and I'm just asking this to get the feedback to improve. So if I'm doing that and I'm putting the ball in their court, are people not more than less going to be like, well, what payment plans do you have? I'm trying to get PIFs.
Right, okay, if you want to pay, great. Well, typically what would happen is, a lot of our clients, if they break it up, it goes to 12K. Now, if you and I work together for the next 10, the next 10 days or the next 30 days, I can work it in a way where I can take you in for 5K, 6K, 4K, and we can both work together to get you to that 10K before the end of the month. So then you don't get the extra 2K on top. Is that fair enough? If I can work that with you.
That's juicy. The offer doesn't have that though, like whether they do it over, like we have financing and it's interest-free financing. So it's like they're paying the same amount if they break it up over 6 months, a year, pay it in full. So I don't know how to leverage that.
It's very fucking simple, very easy. So how this works is that if you do it in your own, liquid cash, it's 10K. But if you use our finance company that we work with, it works out around 197 a month. It's the same investment, but it's completely up to you whether you want to do it at 197 a month or you want to just drop your own 10,000 on this, which will probably make more sense for you, in a financial situation where you are today.
Gotcha.
Now,
Most important
do is, we can get you started on the 197, when you start doubling and putting yourself in the best position, you can pay this down quicker. So you obviously don't have to use any interest moving forward.
Okay.
You got to frame things in a way where people are getting benefit out of it.
I see how you're framing that a lot better. And basically, like when I'm gonna go, because I do price at end. Are you saying I should stop being like, well, you know, the guy used to charge 50 to 100K, but since this is a passion project, blah blah blah, it's only 10K. I should tie it more to, in order to help you get to X, Y, and Z. Working with this guy, this
If
is the
you say
price.
it's a passion project to me, I'm saying in my head, why don't you just do it for free if you want to just save the work?
The guy's retired from Wall Street now, and this is what he's doing as his retirement project, and like that's like embedded into the indoctrination along the way.
I would say, okay, cool. So you've made your money. Why don't you just help the next generation for nothing then? It's
Okay.
like you're going to get my back up if you say that. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
I understand.
I'm absolutely okay with paying for things, but if you frame it in a way where I'm doing charity work, but I have to pay you for the charity work, that's fine.
I got you. Okay. And then just real quick, I'm sorry to try to monopolize here, but
Rowan, there's way more than enough, buddy. That's all I want you to do. You're going to change that, buddy, because if you change any more, you're going to be all over the place. You're going to be coming back the next
okay.
week.
I just wanted to know where I fucked up in the funnel, but that's okay.
You
No
fucked
problem.
up, buddy, because you dropped the price and then you just funneled it down into a position. The money is very simple. Is it a case that you have the full investment? Now you knew, and I knew very simple that it was a fear. So you got to like just allow them to understand that you understand there's a little bit of uncertainty. Then you got to go to the money. Before you go to fear, you got to make sure that the money is there. Yeah. I liked what you did in regards, like, you know, which we don't do anymore, but it makes sense for the way that you did it. Like, is it just the case that this is the investment and we just need to figure it out, or what's going on? So you understand that it was fear, but you got to do it this way, because if you do it this way, then I can coach on it. I can make it better.
Okay. I just pulled that from the videos I've been watching, so maybe as I go deeper into your videos in the family course, I'll get to that.
This is a great example, guys. Stop watching those videos. Great example. Stop watching those videos. If anything's older than 2 months, 3 months, stop watching it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It's the same reason actually why, you know, people take my stuff and they want to build their own stuff. You see it all the time. You know, I had a pop with some fucking little ugly girl last week about it. It's the same thing, Rich. Like giving stuff that I did 2 years ago. It's like, great, wonderful. I could give it away for free now, you fucking retard. So like, you guys are on the edge of it, so stop going back. Yeah, so stay here training all the time, because we're moving it so quick that you got to be here all the time live. That's why I say to you guys, if you're just going to be here to watch old videos, waste time. Just, you know, just go into my YouTube. I gave it away. All right. Who we got? Tamara, let's go, sister. Yeah, Sarah Mary, let's go, sister. Right, Tamara, let's sell guard. What are we doing?
Okay. All right. Wait, who am I going with? Mary?
Me.
The Virgin Mary.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Mary. So that's pretty much all I have. So the initial investment, or the investment, is 25. I just did the same thing that you said not to do. Sorry, let me restart. So Mary, that's all I've got for you today. How would you like to pay for that?
Yeah, I'll figure out how exactly I'll pay for it when I make the decision.
Oh, okay. So I was unaware that you're undecided. Can we maybe talk about what is creating the uncertainty?
Yeah, I just need to think about it for a few days, really, and I'll get back to you then. Could you actually put it in an email for me?
Well, we talked about a lot of things, so I'm not sure that I can cover it all in an email, but what specifically is coming up for you?
Yeah, I just don't make decisions like this on the spot. I just want to think about it for a couple of days.
Sorry. City living.
Well, don't worry about the city living. The city living don't matter to me. It's you not knowing where you're going upsets me. That's what's upsetting me. I don't care about the city living, neither does anybody else. And neither do you, because you have your own calls like this all the time. Replay it again. Go again. I'm gonna stick on you for the next 10 minutes until you get this right. So come on. So
Okay.
all of that nervousness and all of that anxiety and all of that, you know, people are staring at me. You're going to ride the wave of this now. So do it again.
All right. So, Mary, that's all I've got for you today. How would you like to pay for it? Visa, MasterCard?
Yeah, I'll decide how I'll pay for it when I make the decision.
Oh, I thought you've actually made the decision. Can we talk about what is coming up for you in terms of making you undecided?
It's a lot of information, you know, I just want to go over it and make sure I'm making the right decision.
Hmm. What about the amount of information? I think it's pretty simple and clear. So what seems to be tripping you up?
Pause it, pause it, pause it. You're going to get her back up here now tomorrow. Very, very simple. This is really important, guys. It's tomorrow. So if you come out of the structures, if you come out of the frameworks and you kind of free ball it, you're just opening yourself up to get absolutely busted up. As I say to you guys all the time, if you think of it like this, so we want to go this way, as you know, every time that you got a probe and you're clarifying, that you're like somewhat, hey, this information is simple. Why aren't you able to make a decision? You're getting further away from up the ladder. If you think about the ladder being up here tomorrow, this is where you want to go. You want to be asking questions that are moving you forward rather than sideways. So you're actually going to start challenging her based on like, you know, why she's stupid. Is basically where you're going with this. The information is simple. Like, why are you like here? You understand what I'm saying to you? And she's Irish, so she's going to slap you about that in a second. So she's going to be like, I'm not doing this. So what I'll do tomorrow, I'll do it for you. What do you want me to sell? What do you want me to sell?
What it's a high ticket legacy offer.
Right. Fucking speak English to me. Legacy offer. What's a legacy offer?
Okay, I'm helping wealthy executives create their legacy.
Which is what? Make more money? Like
No,
what?
they've already made enough money. They hate their job, but they're not quitting because they because they make too much money.
Yeah.
But retirement's right around the corner, so they want to leave behind a legacy. They're not sure what that is, so we, determine what that is and then we build it.
It sounds like a fucking trust fund. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's basically Make-A-Wish Foundation for rich assholes.
Oh, shit. Don't put me in that boat. Anyways,
I myself am in that bucket.
watch this. All right, Sarah, you're a rich executive living in New York in a penthouse. Yes, you got a $7 million penthouse outlooking. Yeah, very simple. Sarah, I don't have a whole lot more to go over. If you're willing and wanting, let's get you set up so we can actually start building, you know, the life that you truly want to live moving forward. You know?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. In terms of obviously how we're going to move this forward in terms of logistics of investments, how do you want to do that? You want to use a credit or debit, or what way do you want to go about it?
Yeah, when I make the final decision, I'll sort out the investment, yeah.
Right. Okay. When you say make the final decision, do you mean that like you're not ready to make the decision, or what do you mean? Sorry.
Yeah, I just went over a lot of information there and I want to make sure I'm making the right call going forward. Like there's lots of options out there.
Right. Okay. And in terms of like, you know, the information that I've given you, is there any reason that it won't work? Could I ask?
I'm not seeing any red flags over based on everything you just said.
Right. Okay. So when you go away and kind of like mull all this over, as you mentioned, you just want to kind of be in a position to be really solid with that. What's coming up for you? Could I ask that makes you want to do that in the first place?
Yeah, as I said, there's lots of options.
I know there's a lot of options, and I know you mentioned that there's a lot of, you know, information. Now, let's say we put all the information on this whiteboard. What's coming up for you now that puts you in a position where you just want to slow this down? Could I ask? And that's perfectly fine if you do want to do that too. That's also okay.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just talking to a few different people and I really just want to make sure that I get to the outcome that I want.
Yeah, and like in terms of everything that I've given, is there any reason why I can't get you the outcome just off the top of your head?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Right, okay. And when you go away and look at everything else, is it a case that now I'm going to go to money? Because like she's trying to spin me in the air. I got to move this on. I got to bring it into the other parts of the funnel. Starting to say to you tomorrow. See how she's like, she's moving me this way? I will come here, but then I'll also have to go back over to ask her 4 questions. But the problem that you're doing is you're going this way with her. You're chasing after her. You gotta move this way. You gotta move up the way. You gotta move up the way. Because if you don't move up the way, you're going to probe and clarify your way out of the deal here. And what will happen is the more questions you ask about, you know, her and why she's stupid and why she's not able to make a quite bad decision, and how this is so simple and X, Y, and Z, especially with those people that you're going to work with, they're just going to look at you and be like, hold on a second, sister. I told you what I'm doing. I'll get back to you. And then that conversation is dead. You're finished. That's what I'm saying to you. So you got to go upward. You got to go upward. So can I ask, like, with all the information I've given you, does it all work? Yes or no? Yes. Or I don't know. Well, what doesn't work? See, these are forward-moving questions where they're not like, what more information would you like to have? Does it all not make sense? Does it all not like, you know, calculate? I know you're very educated, like, when I'm trying to dumb this down. What are you thinking about? See how you're like going after the action rather than the behaviors and moving upwards. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it does watching. It does watching you doing it is another story. But yes, I'll practice that. Question on then going into the money. So obviously bucket 3, but is money like even a real objection?
Yes, of course it is. Yes, of course it is. These people aren't multis. They're like have maybe 3 million liquid with houses and a car and maybe they're 401k. They're not like 200 million liquid.
Right.
They're not
Correct.
probably 15 million liquid, are they? No, they're not. They're working for somebody. They have to be in on time and they got to go home when they're told to go. That's like what it is. They're C-suite executives. You know what I mean? They may have stock options, they may have this option, they may have bonus structures, whatever, but they're still working for the man. That's what they're doing. As you politely said, they've got a golden handshake. So it's still a money conversation.
Okay.
Here's something about people that have money. Guess what we're not going to do?
Blow it frivolously.
They may go and buy a handbag once a quarter, but I guarantee you, they didn't just think about the handbag. How long have they been thinking about the handbag? I've been thinking about my G-Wagon since I was fucking 14 years of age. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
So we might have money, but we're not just going to drop it just because we have it. They're very calculated with money.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. They look at it, they look at money and finances in a way of like, how do I grow it? How do I build it? How do I scale it? How do I use it? Yeah. So you do have to have the conversation. This is a case like you have the full investment. Look, and I don't want to be disrespectful. I presume you have the full investment. But just because you have it doesn't mean you want to invest it, correct? So is it a case that you have it and you're just a little bit uncertain of some stuff and you need a little bit more certainty in things? Or is it a case that you have some of it and we can kind of pull out some other, you know, make it work that way logistically? Or is it a case that you just don't want to do any of it? And, you know, you and I are wasting our time. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like use their ego and their personality and X, Y, and Z. But you, very fucking simple, Tamara. You gotta learn this. You gotta learn how to ask the questions. Because how you're asking questions, you're gonna get nowhere quick. You're gonna be stuck in the mud with that. So you gotta learn how to ask these questions. You gotta go literally word for word, think about power, money, fear, logistics. You gotta write this shit out for all of you. If you don't know what I just did there, write all of the shit out on a white piece of paper, print it off, walk around the room, fucking say it out loud until you know how to say that without sounding like a fucking weirdo. Every day, 100 times a day. Write it all out, print it out. Yes, print it all out, write it out on a piece of paper, and walk around the room and say it 100 times a day. Also, what I will say to you is go into a fucking field or go into your shower or go into your bedroom and just listen to yourself saying it all the time. Because that's what's going to make you money. That frame is going to make you money. That entire funnel framework guys on every different variation of how to go through, think about apartment money for your logistics. Me, you, yesterday, and tomorrow. Is it a full investment, partial investment, or not in the investment? When it comes to partner, is it a responsibility? Is it, you know, different ideologies on that? That's what you need to learn before anything else. And if you don't know how to do that, guys, I don't want to hear a fucking question about North Star. I don't want to hear a question about future pace. I don't want to hear a question about anything. That's your bread and butter. If you don't know how to do that, you're wasting my time and your time. Yeah? So I want everybody to sing off the same hymn sheet. Think about it as the same, partner is the same, money is the same, fear is the same, logistics is the same. The same thing over and over and over again. Listen, stop trying to make it up yourself. Yeah? Is that fair enough? Is that fair
Yes,
enough?
sir.
Yeah.
Every single person, is that fair enough? Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's fair, Bill.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right, great. Let's stop making it up. Yeah, just run the same play over and over and over again until it's fucking the same stuff. Yeah. Who here is good at something? Kayla, what are you good at, sister?
Making sourdough.
Yeah, fucking brilliant, brilliant. Yeah. Do you know exactly the process?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know exactly the temperature of the oven?
Yes.
Do you know the exact amount of like, I don't know, whatever, what would you call it? Like the amount that you have to put in to cook it at the, you know? Yeah. Why do you know?
What do I know?
Well, why do you know that?
I know because because I've done it over and over and over again.
Same fucking thing over and over again. Yes, it's called consistency. Yeah. Who here has a favorite meal? You go to a certain place for a favorite meal. What is it? Put up your hand. Chris Scanlon. What do you like?
Bacon potatoes.
Bacon potatoes. What the fuck is bacon potatoes?
Steak and potatoes.
Steak and potatoes. Okay, cool. Is there a certain way that you like your steak cooked?
Medium.
Yeah, very good. Is there a certain way that you like your potatoes cooked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you go to a restaurant for that or you just cook it at home?
I do both.
Fantastic. Right. That's fucking retarded. Anyone go to a restaurant specifically for one meal? Yes or no? Rub your hand.
I do. I'm on the car though.
What is it?
Chicken Milanese.
At a certain restaurant, at a certain cafe or something?
That's correct. The Aurora restaurant in my town where I live.
Very good. So you know exactly what it is, you know exactly what it tastes like, you know exactly how it's going to come out. Now, I guarantee you guys, if you went to that restaurant and they changed something, who'd be the first person to know there was a change to it?
I would.
Yeah, if they put chives in it instead of fucking whatever, if they put pepper in it instead of, you know, spice, you would be the first person to know that. Why? Because it does not taste the same. Something changed. Don't be in a position where you're changing stuff all the time. Because if you're changing stuff all the time, you don't have consistency. You cannot have repeat customers. You don't have repeat processes. It's the same thing. Bacon is the exact same way. Yes? Yeah? Okay? Everything that you want to do, guys, is the exact same way. It's the exact same process. Yeah? When you're, I don't know, I like a lot of sports. So, like NFL, they snap the ball the exact same play every time, correct? From the minute they were 4 years of age to now Patty Mahomes is near 30, it's the exact same snap every time. And he peels left or he peels right the exact same way. Watch him. It's the exact same play every play, over and over and over again, because it builds consistency and it builds a standard that you know you hit. And if you hit the standard, you know you got a chance. And if you got a chance, you know you're going to get paid. That's what it is. That's why giving you this funnel, just run the exact same play all the time. Because then you know what you fucked up on. And then you know what is easy to fix, correct? Now, if the other side of it, Patty Mahomes was peeling left and then peeling right and then bending down, then reaching up, he doesn't know what's working because it's all too much. Stay on something. Stop trying to fucking spice up your game. You don't know enough to spice anything up. Because the day you want to spice it up is the day you're going to lose money. I guarantee you that. Yeah? The day you keep chopping and changing like Rowan was, is the day you're going to lose money. He went back to what I told him back to consistency. The last month, 100,000 a month or 100,000 a week. Why? Because it's just the same play over and over and over again. Stop trying to make it up. Because if you do it that way, then you know what you can build on top of it. All right. Right. Fuckers, into the groups. Yeah. Write out your fucking September numbers. Let me know your wins. Why? Because I'm trying to put you guys in the shop window. Yeah. There's some of you here that want to get on offers. There's some of you here that want to get on better offers. There's some of you here that want to be in a better game. Yeah. You're going to have to start building your name. I'll help you, but I'm not going to do it for you. So you got to operate as a business. If you operate as a business, then you can build your business. Your business is the business of Angelo. Your business is the business of Bill. It's the business of Chris and Amara. That's your business. You're going to build your business. Okay? So write out your numbers, write out what your wins are, write out your consistencies, because then I can go to market, you can go to market, and you can build on your results. Correct? Have a good day. Goodbye. Behave yourselves. Good luck.